everyone, welcome to the next video in this double page spread from Rita Berman's Asian book. We're going to be doing this little girl here today, so I shall come in a little bit closer, and we're going to be using Faber Castell Polychromos as we have for the rest of the page. My remote control battery is going a bit flat, so I'm going to be using the one on the camera. Oh. There we go. I have to go and get some batteries in a bit. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's have a look at this this little girl. Now, I thought I would start by doing her some blonde hair. Now, I realised that these ladies probably would all have black hair, I think, or maybe grey, but I'd like to try some different hair colours out, so I thought it would be an interesting way to do it, and why not, you know. So I don't really know how to do blonde hair. I haven't done it before. So we're going to start with the cream colour and just do a little bit and see sort of how it looks really. I'm thinking of a really light blonde that's, you know, not got any brown in it, but I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do that with the colours that I've got. So I'm just going to put some cream down over all of the hair to start with, and that will tone down anything we put on. So if I have to put down a sort of slight brownish colour, because I can't put on the really bright yellows, the cadmium yellows and things, they're going to be too bright. So we'll see how it all works out. I think this is actually rather nice colour, but it is a little pale, isn't it? So just getting a layer down. I'm just having a think. I'm going to try actually just darkening up a bit more. Now, I'm not pressing really hard though. I'm just putting another layer down, because if you press too hard, you burnish your paper, burnish into the paper, sorry, flatten the tooth of the paper, and the tooth is the rough part of the paper and where the pencil sits in. So if you flatten that, then there's nowhere for the pencil to go, and it can't just slide on the top, so it just doesn't come off your actual pencil. So there, it's quite pale, but I'm thinking we're getting there. I think I'm gonna go, excuse me, I've got to blow my nose, I'm really sorry. Why didn't it need it just before I started recording? I'm gonna grab this one. This is the light yellow glaze. It is quite a light colour. I'm hoping it's gonna work. I'm just gonna apply a little bit and see. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. She's gonna look very yellowy. I'm just gonna try and fade it a little bit so it's a bit darker on the edges. Yeah, let's keep going with that. Now, as I say, if you prefer, you could do the more black hair, grey hair, that sort of thing, you know, but I just think it makes them a bit different. And if you're not colouring along with this picture and you've got a picture of people, or, you know, some other picture, or you just want to sort of have a look at some colour combos and things like that, then, you know, I can show you, you know, show you this. There. It still is a bit pale, but I'm actually liking the colour rather a bit. So I'm thinking I might just grab the tiniest bit of Naples yellow. We've got a slight brownish tinge, although it looks quite orangey in the camera. And just put over all of it a really gentle bit, just to darken it slightly so it looks a little bit less pastel. I think that's working. It would probably help me if I actually had a picture of someone with blonde hair to look at, but yeah. But I was shocked. The first time I had my hair coloured, I was going grey, and I had a friend who always had, two friends actually, who always had their hair coloured, and one of them said to me, "Why don't you get yours done?" I thought, oh yeah, you know, I will. Went to a hairdresser because she always did it herself, and I thought, well, I've never done it before, and if I do it wrong, my hair might just, you know, go a very strange colour. So I thought I would, this is the light flesh or the beige red. So I thought I'd go to a hairdresser to have it done, and he I said I want it my sort of natural colour, just get rid of the grey, you know. And he looked at my hair, he said, you're blonde. And I was like, I'm not blonde. I mean, I can't get my hair under the camera. I don't think you can see it. I can't get it far enough under. It's really hard to see. But it's definitely not, in my way of thinking, is that it looks, actually there's a picture of me on my Facebook page somewhere, but I think it looks brown. I'm doing a second layer of this colour. I think it looks, she looks a bit different then to these two. I think, you know, we can play around with different skin tones. I don't tend to go really dark, you know, like black skin, because I just don't know how to do it, but we might get darker. I might be more get a bit more confident, but I just, you know, I don't really know how to do it. This is a cinnamon colour. I'm thinking maybe for the cheeks we could do a bit of a cinnamon, just for a bit different. Yeah, so I have got a book which teaches how to do darker skin tone, and I'd like to learn because I think it looks absolutely beautiful, but yeah, I haven't yet. Right, there is the sort of her part bits, and now we need to do her clothing. Now I'm going to steer away from the colours we've done already. So we've done our blue and pink and green and pink, so let's not do any pink. Let's do something different. We could go red, or we could go orange, or we could go yellow. No, her hair's yellow, we don't do that, or purple. I'm thinking let's go red and orange just for a little bit different. Let's start with this one. Is that the madder? No, that's the deep scarlet red. Let's start with that one and do some of these florals. I think they look nice and a really bright red. Although I'd never wear, well, I wouldn't wear clothes like this. My clothes are always plain. Normally, I've got a few summer clothes, one that's striped and one that's floral that husband bought me. But I usually just wear plain jeans and a black t-shirt, you know, really plain. I don't know why. You know, I started wearing, I prefer plainer clothes to logos and pictures and things. I just, you know, I've got into that way of thinking, and so most of the clothes are like that. And then black was just because I'm trying to do each of these a little darker towards the middle than the edge of the petal, but actually you may not want to do that because it's printed fabric. It might not really have a shade, but anyway, I just sort of got into buying, I like darker colours, I think they suit me better somehow, and so yeah, I just started buying black. Navy blue I like as well, purple, dark, you know, violety dark purples and things like that, but you can't always get them. Black is always easy to get. But there we go. I had to been buying my kids new clothes. My one boy, he's got holes. He gets little holes in his sleeve here. I haven't got long sleeves on, obviously. I haven't got any sleeves on today, it's quite warm. I'm going to do some of these bits at the bottom in this red as well. And anyway, I've been buying, he gets a few holes in his sleeve. I don't know if it wears off on something or whether he does tend to chew a little bit, even though he's old. Actually, I'm going to do this outline and then I'm going to do the bit at the bottom. So anyway, I wanted him to have some tops that weren't in holes. He's also got some holes in the body of some of his clothes, so I think it's more about wear as well. And thing is, once he gets a hole in the wrist, I try and darn them, but if it doesn't darn very well, or if it ladders, he then ends up sticking his thumb through it and just enjoying wearing his like he's got a glove. But anyway, I bought him 3 new tops. I bought my other son a couple of new tops for the winter, long sleeved. They like long sleeve tops anyway, unless it's really hot, because it protects your arms from the sun, you know, if it's a bit not boiling. And I think I'll do those in red. I think those, now I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I think I'll leave, yeah, I'll do the flower middles, the same colour as those loops. I've been talking and not concentrating, haven't I? That's my problem. Now, are we going to go towards orange? Yeah. Let's grab this one. This red is number 118. It's very hard to see. It is quite small. It is scarlet red. So we've just used the deep scarlet red, and this is just the regular scarlet red. So you'll be able to see the difference between them. It's about time to find a new one out, I think. Although I've got a smaller pencil than this. And I'm going to do the centre of the flower, and you can see it's quite a lot more orangey than the deep scarlet red. And we'll do this bit. I also had to buy them socks. My son was like, my sock's so threadbare, I can feel the cold floor through it. It's just basically the sort of, looks like a net curtain on the bottom. I was like, whoops, sorry. Oh dear. I'm going to do, I think, this one. And this one. So yeah, I bought them some new socks as well. So they've got some new clothes ready for uni. Because they're not going to be getting a maintenance loan, so they're not going to have loads of money to spend. They are going to be getting their trust funds when they're 18. But I don't really want them spending that on clothes and things. We've said, you know, we will support them because we're fortunate enough to be able to afford to do that. I'm trying to decide whether to colour in this background with this or make it the same as the dress. I think I'll make it the same as the dress. I might just do a bit here, this bit. So yeah, we did say we would buy them their clothes, but they're learning their highway code at the moment, ready for driving, teaching me lots of things. I don't drive, fortunately, because if I did, I should know these things. Husband doesn't. This is dark cadmium orange. It doesn't say dark, but it's 115. It's been sharpened off. I'm going to use this for the inside of here. So yes, teaching me all sorts of interesting things, trying to let their dad know that he shouldn't really be using his phone in the car. Now, in the UK, you can't hold a mobile phone in the car to your ear and have a conversation. That's against the law. But you can use a car phone, so hands-free. However, the highway code says you shouldn't do it if you can help it. But their dad does it every day. He takes a meeting in the car. And it worries me a lot because it takes your concentration away from driving. And I don't phone him in the car unless it's an emergency. And if he phones me and then he tells me he's in the car, I hang up as soon as I can because I just think it's too distracting. Although my father says, how is it really any more distracting than having a conversation with someone who's in the car? And I'm thinking, maybe not, but if you're in the car, you can see the hazards as a passenger. And, you know, if a busy junction's coming or you can see there's a car behaving strangely or anything going on, you can stop talking, you know, because you can see it. So I think it is, for me, it feels like it's slightly safer when you're in the car having a conversation. Particularly if you're a passenger like me who knows how to drive. I have learned to drive. I hate driving, it petrifies me. But I understand the road and hazards and things. I don't know. This is dark chrome yellow. I'm going to use it for the dress. I don't know if I could remember all about how to drive, but you know, I know about road safety now. It made me so much of a better pedestrian when I learnt to drive, because I understood what was going on at roundabouts. If I was crossing the road near a roundabout, which I often used to do near where we live, I can think about what might be going through the driver's minds, that sort of thing. I don't tend to cross near roundabouts anymore, funnily enough. Things like that. So I think it just made me so much of a better pedestrian, and so that's good. But they're And I was trying to teach them good road safety while we were driving as well this morning. We only drove to the supermarket, it wasn't very far. You know, and just trying to point things out to them that they need to think about. But we'll book them some lessons with an experienced teacher. I always think that's better. You can teach your kids yourself in this country. A lot of people do if they're very good drivers. I mean, I'm an absolutely petrified driver. I'd be absolutely rubbish. My husband isn't a particularly good driver and he isn't very patient. It was quite funny. We had to laugh when it said, if you feel yourself getting frustrated with other drivers, pull into the road and calm down before you continue your journey. And my husband said, I would never get to work if I did that. This is the cadmium orange, and I'm going to use it for this little bit at the bottom of the cape. He gets so cross. There was a car, we were driving back from the supermarket, and it was in front of us, and it was in the left-hand lane, and it turned right. And then when it got to some traffic lights, it was also turning right again. And I think I'm going to do this sort of bit here in this colour, but I'm going to shape it a little bit by making it a little bit lighter in the middle, like that. And then when it came to turning right at some traffic lights, there's a little space to wait for the lights to change to turn right because there's traffic coming through. And he didn't seem to notice and pulled far too far forwards. And I can only assume he was new to the area. He didn't really know what he was doing. Husband was shouting, what an idiot, what are you doing? All this stuff, you know. This is 108, which is dark cadmium yellow. I know you can't see it's dark. And I'm just going to do this inside bit here. I know we've got this sort of cord. I'll have a think about that in a minute. We've got the hair accessories to do too. And I want to put a little bit of shape into the dress. I'm going to have a think about what to do for that as well and talk you through my sort of thought process. So yes, it's never very calm, and it says don't argue with your passengers, which was quite funny too. I said, I remember our good argument when we were somewhere and we got lost, and I had the map and I got told off for not knowing where we were by husband. Which way do we have to go? Which way do we have to go? I said, I don't know because I don't know where we are. And why don't you know where we are? I was like, how am I supposed to know? This is cadmium orange. And I'm just going to put a little bit here, a little bit darker, and then on the edge of here. And it's very difficult to navigate on a map when you don't know where you are, you know. It's all very well being able to do it if you know where you are, but I didn't, because I said you need to go this way in this direction and it wasn't what I thought. We ended up somewhere else, then I was lost. I didn't know. Now I'm just noticing that inside here, those two bits in there might be the same colour as this hood of the cape. I can't remember what colour I did it. I'm thinking it might have been this cadmium orange actually. I'm going to try it, you might remember. Yeah, that looks right. Do you think? I think it looks right, so I'm happy with that. I'm just going to grab the dark chrome yellow again. I think that's what I used for the dress. It just looks a little bit messy, so I'm just going to try and make it look a little bit tidier, the actual colouring. You may not need to do this if yours looks tidy. I was talking too much. But I think it's, I was saying to my sister how, sorry, I just had a spider on the desk, then I had to move. How, you know, my boys are getting old and, oh, they're going to be turning 18. She's, they don't change overnight, and I know, but it just, you know, things are happening. My son got a letter this morning saying he's now able to vote in elections. The other one had one already. I don't know why his took. Oh, his took, for some reason, they needed ID for him because this is dark cadmium orange. I'm going to drop it. I use it for the bow. They had to have ID because there was 2 of them with the same day of birth. They got confused. I don't really understand it, but anyway, he got it anyway, so now he can vote, which is pretty cool. You know, one of them's got their provisional license, the other one hasn't come through yet. They both got their ID sent back on the same day, but the licenses haven't been. I mean, my one son, who's taking longer, he's got a health condition, so whether they're having to check that out, I don't know. Should we straighten her up a bit? This is the deep scarlet red. Remember, we used that for the flowers. I thought we might use it for these chopsticks. I'm assuming they're chopsticks. I mean, they might not be. There we go. Now I'm having a little look at her to think about this sash or whatever it is. And I'm thinking the dark red might work. Although I would normally be very tempted to do it gold, it's not going to stand out on top of these reddy oranges, yellowy oranges, sorry. So I'm going to keep this deep scarlet red in my hand and I'm going to do this one here. But yeah, it's something to come to terms with. I don't know if any of the rest of you who might be parents have had the same thing where, you know, suddenly you've got adults in your house, 2 adults, no longer children. It just feels like a bit of a big change. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna grab this 108 again. This is the dark cadmium yellow. I'm just gonna do the inside of this cape because it just looks a bit messy. So again, just a bit of a tidy up job. Gosh, this is going to be difficult. For my thumbnail, I've been trying to crop out the background. This overlaps here. It's going to look a bit strange, but I shall do my best. That's all I can do. As I tell everybody, do your best. Or even if you can't do your best today, just do what can work for you. Okay, this bit of orange down here again, I'm thinking is a little bit messy. I'm not sure which orange it is. I'm grabbing the cadmium orange. I think it might be that. Yeah. Just going to go over it and just work it again. Yeah, I think it'll benefit from being a little bit darker. Wow, the sun's come out. My goodness. That's it's been absolutely pouring with rain, as is quite common. Now I'm going to take a photograph of this, and I'll probably end up turning off the camera because I can't remember which is the right button. Yes, no, I pressed the right button. Hurrah! I'm going to go and get some batteries from my remote control as well in a minute. But there is our little girl now. I'm not going to do the parasol. I think I'm going to wait and see what colour this one is to decide on the colour for that. And we'll do some of the accessories in other videos. It'll all get done, but I just feel like I want to do the ladies first, and only the accessories that they're sort of holding. And she's not holding this one, so I can do it a little bit of a different colour perhaps. But I shall have a think about that. I'm almost wondering whether to do the accessories a similar colour to sort of frame it all. But I'm playing that in my head, thinking about it, playing with the idea, I mean. So anyway, that's me done for today. Hope you have a really super day. Thank you so much for watching, and happy colouring.